wasn't nothing but a dealer's. That's all she ever was. What kind of mother would do that to her son? Turn him into a prostitute so you could pretend to be something more than what you are, which is nothing more than a filly. You're a big old and they're making your son out to be, that's for sure. Because he didn't have no choice. You was down by all.
It's just what's bothering me is that being a celebrity sometimes comes with, like, everybody wants to be successful in a celebrity and stuff like that, but it comes with, you know, sometimes, and, you know, that's the only thing that I hate about.
Orlando Brown may not be as insane as we once believed, it appears. Rumor has it that he has been compiling receipts pertaining to a few of Diddy's scam victims. And Bryshere Gray is the first individual on that list. For quite some time now, Bryce has been at the heart of this crazy discussion, particularly after Jaguar Wright intervened and claimed that his mother had sold him to Diddy for $10 million and a book contract. In fact, Bryce attempted to obtain justice by suing Diddy and Will Smith for $50 million, but they dismissed the case before it had a chance to be heard and accused him of being insane. However, Orlando Brown is now exposing everything and isn't letting it go that easily.
There's Uncle Will. There's Uncle Will. I know. We need to start right here. That's how we kick this thing.
People have been discussing Bryshere for years, as I mentioned earlier, but he recently made a reappearance when his Empire co-star Terrence Howard made some outrageous claims about some of the young men in the business who have changed since they opened their mouths wide to allow Diddy to have his way. Although he didn't specifically mention Bryce, folks assumed he was referring to him because the events of Bryce's encounter with Diddy and Will occurred around the same time he was still on Empire. He lost all of his jobs, transformed into a gay porn actor, and became a violent drug user. In fact, Turin mentioned in his interview how the Menwo dated Diddy ended up. It's reasonable to believe that Terrence was discussing Bryce without specifically identifying him, if 1 + 1 is 2.
You lose your man card. That's the only thing I can think of. You lose your damn man card.
What is that? What do you mean by that?
You give up your ability, your right to being a man. A man don't take it, a man gives it. So when you give up that man card, you don't get that back.
Are you saying what I think you're saying?
Now, I'm saying what I'm saying. You don't get that back. You come into this world as a man one time. You give up that right for anything, for fear of being hurt, fear of somebody doing something, for wanting to gain something. When you give up that man card right, you lose some spiritual energy that has always been pushing through. Like if a woman gives up her womanly right, but when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. Got punked out and out by some greater desire. You shouldn't have a greater desire than being a man.
Jaguar. When Wright accused Diddy and Will of utilizing their fictitious mentorship program to coerce young boys into engaging in inappropriate acts against their will, she was the first to alert Bryshere to what was happening.
They do weird things in their house, and young men have left their house screaming to get away from them in their mentorship. Meek Mills, Bryshere Gray, left that house screaming. August the only one that stayed, and I guess he was really sick. He needed a dog.
Brian was a different person when his romance with Diddy ended. He was drowning and going in and out of jail all the time. At the age of 17, he appeared on one of the most popular TV shows, and now he is merely a failed Hollywood star. He was detained and convicted of severe assault against a woman he was seeing in 2022. However, this was not his first encounter with the authorities. In 2020, his wife had gone to a local gas station to ask for assistance, and a man there came to her aid. She claimed to the police that Bryshere had choked her and repeatedly touched her until she was going in and out of consciousness. He refused to leave his home when the police arrived to take him into custody. To convince Bryshere to leave the residence, the SWAT team had to bargain with him for hours. Jaguar not too long ago, Wright returned, and this time she explained in greater detail what had actually occurred to Bryshere. She served as a conduit between Bryshere and the individuals who were abusing him, confirming the rumors that Charlie Mack, Bryshere's former manager, was involved in the entire situation. However, things became much more bizarre at this point. Jaguar also disclosed that the reason Charlie was able to accomplish it in the first place was because Andrea Mayberry, Brian's mother, was complicit and permitted everything to take place.
I'ma kick you in your and then I'ma go to work North Philly style. And Charlie, you happy now? He's a gay star. Are you happy now, Andy? For a book that didn't sell. I hope that new husband of yours leaves you. And maybe it's time you tell your son why his father is really in jail, his biological father, for all of his life and what you had to do with it. You see,
Do you feel this is...
That came to me and begged me for my help. I told her to get the away from Charlie. I did everything that I could do to get Bryshere, to help her get Bryshere out of California into Chicago safe, to be ready for filming. She knew what Will did to him.
According to Jaguar, Andrea begged her for assistance during the time of all of this, and she advised her to separate Bryshere from Charlie Mack because he was the conduit between Bryshere and Diddy. However, Andrea did nothing and allegedly let Diddy and Will continue to have affairs with her son until Bryce was gone. By this time, Bryshere had already been exposed and was using drugs as a coping mechanism.
That came to me and begged me for my help. I told her to get the away from Charlie. I did everything that I could do to get Bryshere, to help her get Bryshere out of California into Chicago safe, to be ready for filming. She knew what Will did to him. But because of Charlie, see? And Charlie had promised her all kinds of things. And all she had to do was pretend to be a broken down single mom who worked her way up through the ghetto and raised a superstar for television, when the truth is, she wasn't nothing but a dealer's. That's all she ever was. She went from dealer to dealer, and then she snitched on whoever she needed to snitch on until she could get to the bigger bag, until she got with Larry Lair, my friend who raised Bryshere in $1 million home. Your whole book is lies, Andy. And I hope anybody that bought it asks for a refund and demands it comes out of your pocket every time they see your son's gate. You, Angie.
She continued by claiming that Bryce was negotiating with legal counsel to sue Will and Diddy for allegedly abusing him. According to her, Bryce has been in this for some time, but because this industry is aggressively working to quiet him, he hasn't yet found a suitable attorney to represent him. Jaguar even went so far as to say that she is one of the few people who has seen the secret footage that shows Justin Bieber, Will Jaden, Diddy, and Brian having a freak out.
Him out so he'll feel too embarrassed to file his lawsuit against Diddy for what Will and Diddy did to him. With Jaden and Justin present, that tape exists.
Okay.
I really hope none of that baby oil was used on those kids. That would just be in bad taste. Baby oil on babies.
You can't say that the flavor camp was sponsored by Johnson & Johnson. You just come on. Come on.
Starting to sound that way, ain't it?
No.
All that talent, and she let Charlie tune that boy up on, knowing that he was bipolar and had ADHD. What kind of mother would do that to her son? Turn him into a so you could pretend to be something more than what you are, which is nothing more than a filly. You're a big old and they're making your son out to be, that's for sure. Because he didn't have no choice. You was down by all.
Hey.
I'm sorry. The Bryshere conversation for me is not easy. Because I came to Belial and I asked Belial to help me save the kids, and all he was worried about was his book.
Orlando Brown also entered the conversation and supported the claims that Diddy had touched Bryce, just when we thought things couldn't get much worse. You see, Orlando was at the top of the business at a very young age, just like Bryce before. Diddy touched and destroyed him. He starred in the popular Disney television series, That's So Raven. However, his career also terminated immediately after the show's conclusion. He was later detained on DUI charges in 2011 and imprisoned for 27 days when he was unable to provide documentation indicating he had finished a 180-day court-mandated alcohol education course. After that, he encountered more legal issues, but in 2014, an audio recording of him killing a woman and her whole family went viral. He later entered a rehab facility in 2016. But his severe drug addiction returned, and he was arrested for drug possession once more in 2018. In the same interview, he also attacked Diddy for attempting to make him his freak-off boy by hooking up with him when he was still new to the business.
You gave me the ooshkash gooshmash. You gave me the ooshkash muaf, the smooshmash. Diddy. Yeah, son. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You gave me the ooshkash muash. I love it, yo. I love it. You gave me the ooshkash muash.
And
ooshkash muash. You know what I'm talking about, Diddy? Diddy. God.
He further disclosed that the reason Diddy and other industry titans escape is because their parents typically have a hand in it and permit it to take place in return for cash. The absurd thing is that other famous people have also made similar statements and been called insane. One such person is Corey Feldman, who, like Orlando, was a child star before experiencing some major issues. That people disregarded Corey's remarks as well because they believed he was fabricating things to get attention, and that his addiction was the reason for his weird speech. In 2020, he released a documentary called My Truth, in which he name-dropped all of the people who had interviewed him, including talent manager Marty Weiss and actor Charlie Sheen, Jameson Nylander, a cast member of The Lost Boys, and Susie Feldman, Corey's ex-wife, both attested to these claims after seeing some of it occur.
that made its rounds all over the internet, went completely viral, was some things you had to say about Diddy.
Oh, yeah.
And there was also, shortly after that, there was an old video that was kind of going viral. And it was 50 Cent, and where he says he was at a party with Diddy. And he was mad at Diddy because Diddy offered to take him shopping. And he felt like that was only something like you would do for a female.
He's a nice guy. He's a nice guy. He wanted to take the guy shopping. What an idiot for turning him down.
So you're not turning Diddy down if he wants to take you shopping?
We going shopping, bro. We going shopping. But at the party, I'm gonna be in my corner with my little shot of Ciroc, and you have your fun, bro. I'm chilling. I'm chilling, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm good. I deserve to be there. But other than that, I'm cool, bro. Y'all have y'all fun, man. Y'all chilling. I'm knowing what's going on. Y'all chilling. I'm chilling.
I'm doing fine. I'm worthy of being there. But I'm cool, bro, except for that. Man, you guys had a great time. You guys are relaxing. I am certain that I am aware of what is happening. You guys relax, I'm relaxing. Do you understand what I'm saying? The fact that Orlando, of all people, is speaking on Bryshere's behalf is hardly surprising. Since then, he has experienced the same thing. Is there anyone who can identify with Bryshere? People had their own opinions, as usual. For example, one individual claimed that Bryce was excellent on Fox Empire. What he was dealing with was unknown to me. I thought we'd be seeing Bryshere Gray in a lot of new stuff after Empire, but instead he disappeared, someone else said. Now though, I'd like to hear your opinions. How do you feel about industry creeps touching Bryce? And do you guys believe Orlando actually experienced the same thing? Please share your opinions in the space provided for comments below. Additionally, don't forget to view this other awkward video by clicking here.